Now boarding for Rebuild of Joycast, your weekly destination for anime, manga, and more.
Welcome back, everyone, to Joycast. This is basically, like, I said that Golden Week was going to be this week, but apparently it's not until the end of April. So, like, we're in this really weird pre-Golden Week limbo. We've discussed this, that a lot of mangaka like to take advantage of Golden Week coming up, and they'll take their breaks a week or two ahead to extend that break, as they deserve to. But there really isn't much manga to talk about. We just got some carryover with Chainsaw Man and My Hero Academia. But we're going to take some time and really focus on the first wave of the spring 2023 anime. But, I mean, you pick your poison, Val. Do you want to do manga first or anime first?
I said let's get through the manga first, because, like, you know,
Let's
that's
do
the
the
thing,
manga
that's
first
the
and
thing
then
we
focus on
usually
the
do.
anime?
And not too much happened this week.
I gotta say, it wasn't a big week, so yeah, we'll comb through this pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man or My Hero first?
Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man started off pretty strong with a very cool fight, which is kind of like Denji's bread and butter, let's be honest. Whenever Denji's involved, he has really fucking cool
He
fights.
continues to further my theory that Denji's here for action and Asa's here for interpersonal conflict.
Yeah. I really liked Denji's fight with the Falling Devil, actually. I liked it where all of the anxieties kind of flare up with, like,
Oh, you know
Aki.
Twitter fucking loved that. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
of course.
Let Denji be fucked up for a sec. It's like, and then he's like, nah, fuck that. He's like,
fuck you.
shreds his brain when he senses he's being manipulated. I love that.
I loved that too, but I also
He said, "Fuck you, Twitter. I'm the action guy."
because
We're
I
not
read it
doing this."
earlier. Because I read it earlier in the week, I like forgot about it. So I was like looking at it, and I was like, "Wait, does Denji just do that whenever the sadness sets in? Like he's just sat there with his I'm gonna turn myself down a bit because I am peeking a little bit." Okay, that should be absolutely perfect. So it's like when he's just sat there and he feels sad and all the memories come, like he has a cringe moment. He's just like, oh, that's so much better.
Yeah, like he literally like freaking not a cauterization, he lobotomizes himself whenever he's sad.
Yeah, it's fucking funny to me, the idea that he does that to himself every single time. Also, I figured out what the problem was. I wasn't turning down my gain, I was turning down my volume. Anyway, so that happens. It's pretty goddamn cool. And then he's just like tearing into the Falling Devil, who is just kind of like, dude, I don't even want to fight you. Please, fuck off and leave me alone. I have nothing against you. And I'm
No,
not
but
even...
then she finds value in it. She's like, you know what? Every chef should experience being eaten at least once.
Yeah.
This like they're all just equally unhinged. Like they were made for it. This is great. This is so much fun.
Yeah, and then they just seem to reform inside of his stomach.
Yeah.
And, you know, having this, like, 8-9 foot tall chef lady, like, just emerge from your body, just tears Denji in half, leaving him on the floor. And someone, assumedly...
Yeah, now that's the interesting part of this chapter. Who do you think it is? Is it Shindo or is it Kobeni? I hope it's Kobeni. I think we're all praying for Kobeni.
See, the legs, the trainers, make me think that. Shindo is probably watching. It wouldn't surprise me if it's Shindo. But the other idea is that it's Katana Man maybe falling on rough times. Because Katana Man wouldn't, like, dress like that.
The problem is he's wearing a uniform. It can't be Katana Man.
Well, they're just wearing black trousers. That's what
It
we
looks
see.
like a uniform, man.
That's
he looks too
true.
clean to be Katana Man. If Katana Man's really on rough times, he needs to look dirtier. It's
I
not
would
Katana
actually,
Man.
can we just say that I would actually absolutely love, like, rough times, homeless Katana Man to appear in the series.
But that being said, we said we were due for a Katana Man redux, though, so it probably could be. Your theory is probably the correct one, but I want Kobeni.
I would also like Kobeni.
I want fucked up badass now Kobeni.
I want Kobeni
I want
and
competent
Asa.
Kobeni.
I want Asa and Kobeni to meet.
Hell yeah.
And acknowledge that she is essentially low-key early Kobeni. But I would also like a experienced or more badass Kobeni, but then it wouldn't really be Kobeni.
Oh,
without the
absolutely.
anxiety.
You're correct about that.
Yeah, so we'll see how that turns out. It could be cool. It might not be. But other than that, not much really happened. It's just continuous fighting. It looks really freaking cool. It's nice because the last couple fights have been sort of, or quote-unquote fights have been sort of disappointing, let's be honest, between the school shooter arc and...
Yeah, but again, only for us, because I said there's this dichotomy with this part where Denji's there for the action, and Asa's there to actually have interpersonal conflict so that you get the best of both worlds. You got a yin to the yang here.
Yeah.
So when Denji's fighting, I ain't disappointed. So I'm not disappointed with this fight right now.
That's fair.
This is a lot of fun.
Like, I wasn't disappointed with, like, the aquarium arc. In fact, I think the aquarium date arc was, like, probably my favorite part of part 2.
That's fair enough, because
so
that's
far.
where you're crossing the streams, basically.
Yeah, I really liked that part.
You got the best of both worlds.
Absolutely a favorite. Here, though, it's like, yeah, it's just a fight. I'm looking forward to the next 4 days, I guess.
The next one, yeah.
No. Yeah, the next one in 4 days. It's picking up. I kind of want to team up here. Oh, I also like the acknowledgement, like, Denji obviously... Like, he obviously does, because he's been coerced into not dating Asa. But I like the fact that at the mention of, oh, I'm here to kill Asa Mitaka, Denji's just like, keep your fucking hands off my ex-potential girlfriend.
Yeah, he still
sweet.
tries to find a way to have some kind of connection. I love. He's so great.
It's sweet, and I'm looking forward to in the future. I don't think we talked about this. The potential conflict with his young charge, whose name I can't remember right now, but essentially new Makima. I'm looking forward to that.
Nayuta?
Nayuta. Thank you, because he obviously can't let go of even the slightest connection with Asa, because he does like Asa.
I wasn't really drooling over her appearance. I was like, it'll be interesting once we come in. Like, I'm not in the same line what the audience wants, but like, when Nayuta did show up, and she ended up being that fucking interesting, I kind of wish Nayuta was a sidekick. I kind of wish she tagged along for these fights. She's really quite entertaining.
I mean, she is potentially somewhere watching, because she's literally sending Denji out there for her own entertainment.
She's such an enabler in the most fun sense.
Well, I think Nayuta wants to watch Denji struggle and get back up again in like a kind of sick way.
She's Chainsaw Man's biggest fan.
Exactly. So she wants
even
to
as Makima she was. That's why Makima was so fucking funny at the end.
Yeah,
because she was a toxic fan. She's like, no, Chainsaw Man wouldn't do that. I fucking adored that twist at the end. I'm just like, oh wow, like yeah, there's some fucked up shit, but there's also some really funny shit at the very end too. Like,
I agree.
She's great.
Oh, I was about to say, you know what? It could also be one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, actually.
So you think Death's hanging around too, kind of trying to get his bit in here?
It could be the swordsman of the apocalypse who fed Denji blood, maybe.
And it could also be Weed Whacker Man. You never know.
Yes, actually.
There's a lot of theories again. Because look at.
Do you mean Weed Whacker Man is in like the fake, like the school devil hunter?
Well, so the guy
president?
who we suspected to be the fake Chainsaw Man, we were calling Weed Whacker Man.
I mean,
but
both
then
knew
he ended
it was
up
a red
being
herring.
not. So now we're like passing that name around. Is what we're doing until we finally find.
Yeah.
Who the real Weed Whacker Man is.
So, do you
because
think
I refuse to. Honestly, I know, and I know Chainsaw Man 2 does kind of have a ring to it, but I'm sure that's what fucking Fujimoto will call it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because that would be funny, but I don't know, Weed Whacker Man is also quite hilarious.
I mean, I like the idea that I think you said people came up with, that it's the Chainsaw Man devil.
Yeah, like now there's the fear of a Chainsaw Man. Like,
yeah.
like this shit gets really fucking convoluted and hilarious.
There is enough foreshadowing for me to be
It's now the public's
down for
idea
that.
image of what Denji is.
Exactly, that's cool as fuck. I still absolutely love that
And
theory.
again, and if they call him Chainsaw Man 2, because Fujimoto's such a fucking cinephile, that would be fucking hilarious.
My Hero?
Yes, so My Hero 385, we immediately begin on a map because someone was confused. People were bitching, the editors. I don't know. Did we really? No, I was saying, like, I'm like surmising why we need a map.
No, I know.
This felt very clear.
Yeah, I mean, it's all pretty clear where everyone is, except for maybe Octopus. Oh wait, no, even Octopus
Like
Island.
Horikoshi had to really make it a point that Ochako's not gonna fight all for one.
You know what? Fuck me, actually, because Octopus Island isn't even like a thing anymore. They've
yeah,
like,
we are
come
long. We
forward.
teleported away from there like
I'm so
years
pissed
ago.
off. I don't think you might not remember this, Ivan, but do you remember how like hyped I was for the location of Octopus Island? Like
That
a big
location
fight, like
was fucking sick because you know
did.
Horikoshi's such a Star Wars fan that you know that he got that from Rogue One. And I can't blame. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I'm not gonna pretend like Rogue One was not beautifully shot. It had
Did I tell you?
great set locations.
Tangent, but did I tell you that when I was high as balls for some reason? I mean, not for some reason why I was high. I was watching Solo, a Star Wars story, and there was a scene, I can't remember for the life of me what the hell it was, but it brought tears to my eyes. And I like
In
cried.
Solo? Oh
So,
my god.
I don't know. I must
Probably
have
the
been high
Jimmy
as
Kimmel alien.
I
You
must
would.
have been high as fuck because somewhere in that movie there was a scene I can't remember for the life of me when, but it made me bawl live, and I was actually like, "What the fuck?"
No, stop
I was actually
it.
like sat there at my table crying, like,
Weak.
"Why the fuck am I crying? What has happened here? I don't know." But yeah. So the map was pretty clear. I mean, evidently I forgot that they moved on from Octopus Island. But fuck you, Horikoshi. I won't forgive you for making me miss out on the epicness that would have been Tsuyu and Ochako's fight with Toga.
We'll
on
still
Octopus.
get it. It just won't be in that really cool locale.
I know, but I wanted the cool locale. I wanted like Ochako to like, I don't know, pick up all the goddamn water in the vicinity or something and like put it in like a big bubble and like.
How? That's a very interesting. That's something worth digging into. Is how much water could Ochako theoretically pick up?
It'd be cool as fuck. Like I love gravity.
Like
powers.
I feel like you're getting to a Shigaraki territory where like that there used to like for Shiki there used to be a limit,
that
but
should
then,
be-
you know,
that should
they
be the-
extended.
That
And
would
so
be
maybe Ochako, if she really practiced, like she could theoretically lift like a whole fucking lake at one point.
that would be the logical like evolution of her power for sure.
Yeah, like that. That's an interesting. Like how far does her touch extend?
I mean, I still think
There must be a weight limit. I would assume is the deal.
probably.
I don't think it's
but
surface area. I think it's weight.
It's kind of just out the fucking window because everyone's
So
going
like
plus
how much
ultra in
how
this
much does a
arc.
gallon of water weigh? You know, like
Yeah, but everyone's going
Probably-
plus
probably
ultra in this
D&D
arc, so I'm
rules.
just like, whatever.
that's the
Just
simplest solution. Let Jimmy Crawford do all the fucking math.
yeah. So we got this map. There's a bunch of freaking destruction going on. Like All for One is just going absolutely ham on everyone. And everyone's going ham on All for One. Mount Lady is like just completely covered in blood to the point
She's
where
run
her
out of
face.
hammers.
Yeah, she's run out of giant wrenches. She's run out of giant
We
wrenches
all have
or
all we have
whatever.
is these shitty fucking Deternet items. Give it to me. Anything.
Why the like? All we have is Detonrat items, bitch. Detonrat were like great as far as I'm aware. What do you mean, just Detonrat? I still love. By the way, Ivan, I didn't say it, but I really like your recreation or like your dedication to the opening with Detonrat in My Villain Academia abridged. By the way,
I love Detonrat. We talked about this on the podcast, but he is like a fucked up Walt Disney.
as you know,
And
I
fucking-
wanted.
as a Disney adult, I am obsessed.
You ain't gotta
with
tell me.
Redestro and him being a fucked up Walt Disney.
You ain't got to tell me about like love for Redestro. As you know, I wanted him to kill Shigaraki.
We all did, because people forget, man, what an encapsulation, a little time capsule that was, where the League of Villains were so fucking, like, obsolete. Like, and I made that joke in the abridged, where they're like, wow, you know things are desperate when the guidebook says our best stat is tactics. Because that was a time where they had to justify why these guys were scary. It was like, oh, they're all tactical geniuses. No, they fucking weren't. They just suck. This was a contrivance in the story. The whole training camp massacre was a total contrivance. Realistically, all those kids could beat the shit out of those guys at that point. Dobby's probably the only one who could give them trouble.
Yeah, Dobby. We talked about it before.
The Nomu were a problem.
Yes.
But besides Dobby and the Nomu, at that point in the series, those kids could have ganked on them easily. That was completely contrived. I still love that arc.
No, it's a good arc. It's scary and shit.
It was an
the only
ambush.
reason-
Like, wow, the tactic was they ambushed them, they caught them by surprise.
I mean, that's an example that I think Horikoshi did really well with the villains. It's that once All for One got put in the clink at the end of the Kamino fight, I think it was. Is it the Kamino fight?
Was it the Kamino? Yeah, I think it was the Kamino incident. Yeah.
Yeah, the Kamino incident. Like the League of Villains did absolutely freaking suck. That's why we had the 8 Precepts of Death stuff going on.
Yeah, like they show up, like they immediately gank them. They kill Magne.
Yeah, they just get completely like fucked over,
and like, hey, you work for us now, and then they kind of slightly justify the League of Villains like as opportunists when Overhaul gets his ass whooped, and they show up. I'm like, hey, there you go. They've got a spot, but they still wasn't like when Redestro shows up. You're like, okay, they're completely outgunned.
Yeah,
they had to introduce Gantamaki. I mean, he was introduced before.
Like,
but
that
now
stuff
they're
was
like,
so
okay,
good.
this is the reason why we have a chip in play. Otherwise, we got nothing.
They had the whole like city thing going on. Denrat was cool as fuck, and as you know, I think that Redestro is like probably one of my favorite.
They needed more time. Like again, we said this. My Hero Academia has terrible character economy. It's not the worst. Dr. Stone has worse character economy.
Most definitely.
But,
did you watch
My Hero? But My Hero is
3?
also one of the bad character economies series.
Yeah, mostly because of Deku,
like having
as you would
like
say.
if Denrat could have been like an overarching set of villains, like if they could have coexisted with the League of Villains for a while and had an arc with the heroes, obviously they couldn't because they had to take them by surprise. But like we needed at least one more arc with Denrat lingering. We really needed it.
That could be. Yeah, no, it's weird. Like
Having
Denrat left such an
would be like a
impression.
Kingpin type of villain would have been so great.
I agree, but I think it's one of those. It's Horikoshi's obvious want to not spend his entire life on a single series, because we talked about this.
It's not that. It's the fact that this man has been burned so many times. He's had so many failed series. So he's at the point now, and and within those failed series, he has demonstrated excellent discipline. He like not like other when people get the axe, they tend to like blow their load and move on. Horikoshi never blew his load. Like he would hang firm and go, "Oh, my series been axed? Well, if you want to see more, you better bring it back." They never brought it back. But he didn't pull a Hunter's Guild where he just threw his endgame within 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Like he waited and said, I have something I want to do, and now he's doing it, but you could only go to the well of discipline so many times. Like now he's boom, 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 hit the fucking points and let's go.
Yeah, it definitely shows Horikoshi's
His
shown over the
patience
years.
has worn thin, and you cannot blame the man.
He's actually very good at coming up with like these different scenarios, and even when he's sort of spinning like old ideas into like new things, there's enough variation between them that is still entertaining going forward. But we should probably get into the actual chapter.
It's fine. I'm completely fine talking about My Hero Academia. I love it. But yeah, otherwise we see again people taking turns at All for One. He looks like he says he's young. Like he looked younger. He looked younger in previous chapters compared to right now.
I mean, that might be the effect of like being nuked in the face and like being like.
And he claims that the more they keep forcing him to regenerate, the younger he's getting. He needs to look a little bit younger right now. But also, yeah, he takes fierce swings from Hawks. So this is an issue. This is something I want to discuss because I'm currently writing the war arc right now for the Abridged series.
Oh.
And my god, Mirio is reintroduced way too soon, and Hawks losing. They you remember when they burn his wings and you think he's over, but he's not? I don't like that. Like, get rid of, like, the fact that, like, oh no, he took Hawks' wings. Well, you already brought them back the first time. I don't feel the stakes here.
Yeah, I think he should, maybe...
like, the Twitter going nuts, and it's like, yeah, but they burnt his wings off, like, 100 chapters ago, and they came back. So what happens here?
I mean, I have a similar issue with, like...
I don't feel because we've already been through this, and it's already been undone before, and it will be undone again.
I mean, I feel like...
Aerie's still in play.
Yes. Yes, she is, actually. You are absolutely right.
But what is interesting is we see Mineta throw a ball on his cape there, on his pants.
Yeah.
Well, I told you motherfuckers, Mineta's getting the last fucking shot. That ball, that is Chekhov's purple ball. That is coming back into play later.
Dude, absolutely, 100%. I fucking love Mineta here as well, where he's like, don't take Dark Shadow. If you're gonna steal something, take my pop off instead.
And that's such
you
a
get
great
the best
moment.
hairstyle ever.
And all for one goes, why would I want your shitty fucking quirk?
Doesn't even
Which
say
I go,
anything.
that's the quirk that's gonna fuck you over in the end. I fucking guarantee. That's fucking karma, motherfucker.
I
love
it.
Mineta so fucking much.
Just when Mineta like crawled up, like how the it's upsetting looking back and having everyone be like, Mineta's such a like just absolutely hating on him.
Mineta was a piece of shit like 200 chapters ago, man. He's changed. Goes to show you guys aren't fucking paying attention, because this guy's barely done jack shit in the creepy end for ages.
Yeah,
and
I don't
even then,
let's
and
be
even then by
honest.
shonen standards, he was so fucking tame.
He
like
really
I don't
was.
like those characters either. But my god, relatively, he was fucking tame.
He
And
rode on
hasn't pulled that shit
Yaoyorozu's
forever.
back. He rode on Yaoyorozu's back and cheated the fucking the exam or the contest or whatever.
Yeah, like that's probably the last point, and even that was fucking hilarious. Because it was less about him being a perv, and more about him being a cheater.
Yeah.
Is what that was.
Not being a cheater. Not being a cheater. He's resourceful. It was about him being resourceful.
You're right, he is better than Mineta. Sorry,
He's
better than Midoriya.
He's better than
Midoriya.
He's better than Yaoyorozu. I would say.
Debatable. I think
I
he's
don't-
in the camp of I like more interesting characters.
I don't think
But
Yaoyorozu isn't
after
interesting,
that, like he was a
sadly.
little housewife. He was a little housewife for
damn it, I
Mount
thought
Lady
you
after
were
that. Like he hasn't really done. Oh, I'm sorry. No. The last creepy thing he did was tell Aerie he can't wait for her to be of age.
I don't remember that.
He did that. There was a translation error, and like the translation made it even worse than it was. That was the last thing he did, and that was the last straw because yeah, everyone fucking justifiably flipped their shit over that. But again,
were you
that's
like
Japan.
Were you like
But that's-
typing in wildly? What was the last bad thing Mineta did in the
No,
story?
I was going through my mind palace looking. I have a special drawer dedicated to Mineta in my mind palace.
Your Sherlock Holmes, like, you know, cheap effects coming up. The sins of Mineta. Your list of sins. Oh yeah, and then a character who looks like he came straight out of fucking Blue Lock appeared, and he's all like, oh, I'm supposed to be listening to All For One, but now I've lost contact. I don't know why, he just looks like a Blue Lock character to me. He looks like the main character from Blue Lock for some reason.
Who?
The guy who's sneaking around the tunnels, the Kotetsu. What's their name?
Oh, this motherfucker. Yeah,
Shinketsu.
you're right.
He looks like a Blue Lock character. He just looks
He's
like the main
he's a
guy.
skeptic stan. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
They all look like a bunch of bull cuts.
We get a look at La Brava as well, who's like still cooperating with the police forces and everything,
Yeah, we
blocking
see
off
Gunhead, we
Skeptic.
see Gunhead, Kendo, and
Oh, yeah, we do. Death Arms makes a
yeah,
reappearance.
Death Arms makes his motherfucking redemption.
with a
Love this.
nice little like thought back to when Midoriya first went to save Bakugo and referencing like, you know, my body moved before I can think.
Yeah, because he was there. Like that was a great callback.
Yeah, it's a nice callback. And at the very end of it all, we get Ida and I don't care, Ice Hot guy. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh, he just got the cool half mask going on right now.
Yeah,
too.
he looks sick as hell. But what I'm really excited about is Stain. And
Oh my god, who could
weirdly-
if you're not hyped for Stain, you got a fucking problem.
what did he go by in Vigilantes?
Oh god, it was like Stedel.
It was
or
German.
Stedel.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly,
Stedel. It was a weird Stedhall, was it?
god damn it, it was
My Hero Academia. Because I think it's a reference to Stedhall syndrome. Yeah, he goes by Stedhall.
Yes. Honestly, I was looking at him here, and I had a weird flashback to his Stedhall design. Honestly, I think it'd be really cool if he like brought back that name, and it's like, oh, it's Stain. He's like, no, I'm Stedhall. Because that's that's his
that won't
hero
happen
name.
because that
Because
whole
that was
arc
his
in
mask,
Vigilantes
yeah.
was him like getting rid of like the fact
Yeah.
that he admitted that, oh wow, even I'm way too attached to the hero branding. Like
yeah.
he thanked Knuckle Duster for like liberating him from the need to have an image. like to evolve beyond that. So yeah, no, he would not go back to Stead Hall.
That was definitely an idea that I
Stead
just
Hall
like
was
came
a
up with right
phase.
now, and then immediately went, oh wait, yeah, that's right, because he was like, oh, you broke my mask and also fucked up my face.
He's
and
the
now
artist formerly known as Stead Hall.
Yeah, now I can be like my true self. Stead Hall was a cool arc, honestly, overall, in Vigilantes.
Vigilantes was a cool series, Val.
Yeah. I still want the Crawler and Captain Celebrity to make a fucking cameo. I'm pretty sure we've missed the opportunity, but God fucking damn it. The biggest missed opportunity, no Captain Celebrity with his sidekick, the Hauler.
Like, yeah, just imagine if that was instead of Star and Stripe.
Yeah. Shall we talk about the anime that we watched today, or over the week?
Yeah, so it's time to get to the
you
spring
looked
anime
at.
preview. I skimmed through a lot, and I know there's still a lot more to go. So, like, this week we're covering the first wave, and then hopefully we can get the second wave next week.
Do you want to do, like, one each, like, back and forth? Because I watched 3 things.
I watched a lot more, but yeah, we can go back and forth.
Okay, then. You want to go first, or...?
I'll go first with Ancient Magus Bride, Season 2.
Oh, okay, then.
It's been a while, and that was a Studio Wit operation
I
that
assume
sadly
no
got
longer.
lost. But now it's under Studio Kafka, but it seems to be in good hands. It looks great. First episode goes hard. Basically what's happening in this arc is, like, I don't read this anime, I don't read the manga. I think Steena does. But it looks like they go to, like, their equivalent to Hogwarts, which is really just an underground bunker. It's like part UA, part Hogwarts. And it's gonna be really interesting. But what I really liked about it is their take on the Sorting Hat, where basically, like, you're presented by, like, basically the dorms in this academy in Ancient Magus Bride is like they're all run like basically, you know, who's the person that runs a dorm? It's not a TA.
I think a TA, yeah, TA.
No, it's not.
We don't have
like when you're in college or in university and you have a dorm, and then you have someone who's usually a graduate student or someone who is kind of like the landlord of the dorm. So in this one, they have cats, and you choose the cat. Basically, you choose what dorm you're in based on what cat you like, and each cat kind of represents something, like freedom or logic or whatever. So instead of like the Sorting Hat choosing for you, you choose the house based on your preferences, and you just choose the cat. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah.
And I think of all the shows that I'm gonna be watching this season, besides the return of Golden Kamuy, that has not come out just yet. That'll be this weekend.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah? Really?
It's coming back. It's coming back this week.
Was there any, like, confirmed reasoning why?
Oh, well, they finally got the production back in order.
Okay, well, that's good. I will probably get back to watching the anime now, because,
But
as you know, I
besides
started
that, I think
really
Ancient
enjoying
Magus Bride is gonna be my favorite thing this season.
it. Okay.
It looks really good. I really love season 1. I rewatched a little bit with Steena recently, who just discovered the show, and Steena is taunting this to be maybe her favorite manga anime combo of all time.
But
it's a worthwhile watch.
But
I would highly recommend it.
Basara, Steena, Basara.
Basara doesn't have an anime.
It does.
It does?
It does.
It does? Well, we need to watch it then.
It does have an anime. I don't think it's like the most faithful to its source material.
Yeah, and that's the issue.
Yeah.
Agent Mad Rise is very faithful and very good.
Well, fair enough.
So what did you watch?
Well, how can you say that Ancient Magus Bride is going to be one of your favorite of the seasons when we have the glorious return of Ranking Kings, the treasure chest of
I did not
courage.
get to watch it. I got so busy at the end of this week, I did not get to see the Ranking of Kings.
Well, it literally came out today.
Yeah, how good is it?
Honestly, it is... Okay, so... I think the way that they're going to do this, based on the opening and whatnot, is going to be a lot of mini-stories spread around the chronology. For example, the first episode concentrates on Boji while he is learning how to be a better warrior with Despa. The first episode is about Kage, who goes out to find a certain kind of mushroom which helps in rejuvenating skin because Despa, being the vain, greedy son of a bitch, lovable...
This is anthological then?
Yes, I believe so. It's apparently going to be...
I was hoping they would continue the manga. God damn it.
No, it's kind of annoying, but it ain't bad. So, the first episode is Kage. It's in segments as well. It's 2 stories in a single episode. Like
it's anthological. Yeah, that's what this is. You know what?
Okay,
if this is like a season 1.5, sure.
Yeah,
cool.
It's quite nice.
I'm not gonna turn my nose to more Ranking of Kings.
So, Kage goes out and helps this old woman because he's looking for a type of mushroom he can't seem to buy in the town, where it'll help rejuvenate Despa's skin or something. He helps this old lady when she's, like, riding like a horrible creature, and she hurts her ankle, and Kage basically spends the entire episode doing everything for her because he's a nice guy. He feels kind of bad for her. He like chops wood, cleans her house, does absolutely everything, and in the end she gives him a pie that turns out to be made of the very same mushrooms that he is looking for. So Despa gives him the gold, lets him keep the gold coin that he told him like to go and buy stuff with. In the end though, he just ends up buying the lady a new like little sickle thing to help harvest the mushrooms because she helped him, and it's just, the twist is, the old lady bosses people around who are looking for the mushrooms and then gives them the mushroom. She's actually the greatest mushroom hunter of all because the mushrooms grow on the very back of the creature that she was riding. And the next episode is Despa does not feel as though the money that Boji and Kage initially gave him is enough for him to warrant teaching them. So he says to them, I want you boys to go out into town and make money because... First off, it's not enough. Second, it'll be a teachable moment for Boji because he's ignorant as fuck. So they go around town and they figure, people make money by doing games and like, setting challenges for people. Like this guy has an axe throwing thing. And they say, okay, Boji, here's the plan. They set up a game where Boji has beanbags thrown at him. And if you hit Boji, you will get 100 coins, fully well knowing that no one will be able to hit Boji. And a little girl comes up, a poor little girl. She's like really dirty, she's got a snotty little nose, she looks like she's a little bit hurt and she's hungry. And she's like, this is all the money I have, I want to throw beanbags at you and make money. And Boji feels immediately sorry for this girl. But Kage says, Boji, no matter what you do, you can't let the girl, no matter what, you can't let the girl hit you, no matter how bad you feel. And he doesn't. He actually doesn't let her hit him, and Boji still feels awful. And they follow the girl back to her house, and she's like, I'm sorry, Mom, I bet all the money for your medicine on a game, and I lost. And Kage is like, she's a stupid little... girl, Boji, she deserves what happened to her. Why would poor people shouldn't bet money? And Boji still feels bad. They go back to Despa with all the money that they make, and they're like, Despa, we want to help a little girl with the money. And Despa says, okay, boys, I'm not going to give the girl money because this is my money, but I am going to invest in the girl's education, and so she can learn how to make money for herself. And I'm pretty sure it's implying that she's going to learn how to be a doctor so she can like help her mom on her own without money, which in my opinion is literally the best example of like helping someone who is poor. I have seen like a cartoon or an anime cover where it goes, look, if you let her win, she's going to probably get like a gambling addiction because she'll be like, I can make money by gambling, especially because she's young and formative. So instead it's like, I'm just going to invest in her. That was a really nice meet in the middle kind of thing. What do you think?
Well, Despa's fucking based. So
Despa is based as fuck. I love Despa. I wish I voiced Despa.
I know, me too. I was pulling for you. But, Chris Sabat didn't have enough roles that season.
He did a good job nonetheless.
I'm definitely going to watch this. So it'll definitely be my poll. It's just, it came out this morning. That was the problem, is I was busy this morning.
I've got a free day, but I'm quite looking forward to this. I don't know what exactly to expect, but I think it's going to be...
Does the production hold up?
Yes, it looks perfectly fine. It looks nice. It's by Wit as well, because that's their baby, I think, at this point. I think Ranking Kings,
good.
At least
it's a good baby to have. It's the best baby.
Ranking of Kings is honestly, like, because Wit, as you've said many times, have a history of kind of picking up a franchise, making it look fucking amazing, and then abandoning it. I understand with Attack on Titan, that was too freaking much, and they were spending literal years between seasons to get it done. But overall, I'm really excited for this. It looks like they might go into things like more about Desha and the Immortal Prince, all kinds of things. I'm really looking forward to it. Apparently, it's going to be 10 episodes in at least 2 segments an episode. Maybe we'll see how that shakes out. What else did you watch?
So it's funny that you brought up Attack on Titan. So I watched Attack on Titan final season 3.5 Dream Drop this anime.
Oh.
So remember how I said that like the most logical thing they could have done was make a movie?
Mm-hmm.
They made the fucking movie. I mean,
or
half
a
of it.
1 hour television special.
They made half the movie, but they put it on TV, and it's like, what kind of deal did the network that airs that show swing with MAPPA? Because if they had finished that movie and put it in theaters, I don't think it would have made Demon Slayer money.
Oh,
but it would have made fucking
really?
bank.
You don't think it would make Demon Slayer money?
I
Really?
don't think there's as many Attack on Titan fans as there used to be.
I don't know, dude. The amount of time it's been around for, I think people would certainly go to cinema to see that. I think that would sell like fucking hotcakes.
But that's what I'm saying. Is I think it would. I think it still would have made a hell of a lot of fucking money.
I think the only reason.
And the fact of the matter is that they just put it on TV for an hour-long special. They could have waited, what, 6 more months and gotten the full fucking movie in theaters and made bank? Was it? It must have been guaranteed money, which I would still think the theater was guaranteed a lot of money.
It might be
Crazy.
I might be wrong, but it might be the dedication to, like, you know, keeping it a TV series that.
But
like,
but just do what
I know
Demon
what you
Slayer
mean.
did.
It's so weird.
Put it in theaters and then divide into episodes and put it on television. Then best of both worlds.
True. Yeah. I
don't
agree with that.
don't understand, considering this whole bullshit with the season naming and the chopping it up. Since when did MAPPA have fucking morals?
I mean, I just think that Wit should have kept it and probably would have handled this way better.
If Wit kept it, they would have sunk. No, I'm glad Wit got rid of it.
I mean, I wouldn't have Ranking Kings if they didn't get rid of it.
And I think MAPPA does a great job with Attack on Titan production-wise. It's just, it comes at a human cost.
How was the production, though?
It was, like, the beginning was fucking incredible. They went hard. Again and again, like, what they did, I'm like, why is this not in theaters? How did this get on television? Why is it on television? How much did, insert network's name here, because I don't know jack shit about Japanese television networks. Whoever funded this, my god, they must have they had to have paid a pretty penny to get MAPPA's eyes away from the movie theaters. Because this felt like half a movie. Because literally, the only material that's left is about another hour's worth of material. 4 episodes of anime at best. But you'll know they'll find some way to drag it out again.
It is interesting, like the last 3 years or so of 2 years of Attack on Titan.
It's
really?
like 10 years. 20 years.
I mean, it did come out in 2013 originally, didn't it? Like, the anime for Attack on Titan is officially 10 years
2012,
old,
2013, yeah. The anime or the manga, one of them had their 10th anniversary.
It's absolutely
recently.
just more crazy to me at the fact that I was doing a freaking bricklaying course and it was like the final season of Attack on Titan is coming out.
I was in university at the time. I remember, like, people were like, "This is the."
Oh no, I'm talking about since MAPPA took it. Like, you know, the last like 2 years have just been kind of a shit show for the production of it.
That too,
since
yeah.
MAPPA took it, just because of the segmentation of it. Like, they should have just waited until 2020 now and gone, yeah, here's the entire last season, enjoy. Like, please, fuck.
They just wanted to drag it out. I don't know. It's a curse. It needs to be lifted. And if they had made a movie, it could have all been done in one foul swoop, and they would have made like $1 billion.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think they would have made more. Oh, you seen how much the Mario
Demon
movie
Slayer
has
made
made?
$500 million. I think they could have. I think between that and DVD sales, they could have hit that $500 million easily.
Yeah, I just want to see, how much did the Mario movie make? 500.
The Mario movie made like over $300 million. It's the highest grossing
Isn't that like
animated
domestically?
opening.
That's like
all-time.
domestically as well, wasn't it? Like 308. It
It,
says
it
here,
broke records, and again, that's why I keep laughing at these critics who clearly just did not get the checks they wanted in the mail from Nintendo to give them a good review, and
Yeah.
Nintendo clearly didn't have to. They didn't need the good reviews, man. They're laughing all the way to the bank,
It's
and
like,
these critics look like fucking morons.
do
the way they
critics
complain
think
about
that
it.
people wouldn't temper their fucking expectations at all for a Mario Bros.
It's
movie?
nothing special, but it's still really fucking well made. It's good for what it is. It had a very simple set of goals that it cleared, and the audience received it very well.
Yeah, it's like
You don't have to like it, but when you're talking about the I forgot whose review it was. They said it had all the charm of an unplugged Game Boy. I'm like, well, first of all, you don't plug in a Game Boy, dipshit. So you
Yeah.
already don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
weren't even in touch back in like 1999.
It's like again, like if you're not into fucking Super Mario Bros, like I'm not even into Super Mario Bros, and I fucking understood this movie. So I don't know what these guys are on. Like again, they're just being haters because clearly they didn't get paid off.
It was
happens.
just a fun time. Do you
It was
want to?
completely innocent fun.
So I'm gonna ask you, which one would you rather hear about? Would you rather hear about Hell's Paradise or Heavenly Delusion?
Here's the problem with Hell's Paradise. Anyone I talk
Did
to
you
about
watch it?
Hell's Paradise tells me it's a lesser Chainsaw Man, so I lose interest immediately.
I did not read the manga. I have literally seen, like, since I, like, watched these episodes, compared to Chainsaw Man. I was
They
like,
lump it in
what?
as a contemporary, but then they say it's worse, so
Is
I
it
don't
because
care.
they came out, like, similar...
But yeah,
I mean-
talk about Hell's Paradise.
Okay. Hell's Paradise was weirdly disappointing.
Weirdly disappointing.
so
See,
it's-
that seems about accurate for what I hear about it.
It's Mappa. Okay. So, it is about this...
I mean, they have to get Jobber at some point. They gotta run out of humans to fucking throw into the incinerator at
It
some
is
point.
about this man called Gabimaru the Hollow, and his whole thing is basically, he is a killer, he doesn't particularly like killing, but he is willing to accept the burden that comes with taking a life. So he's like, yeah, I kill people, but I don't enjoy it, and
just walk on by, sir. Sorry
I
for
just-
bugging you, us the police.
I just have the balls to, like, you know, take on the guilt of
Your
killing
Honor,
people.
he said he didn't like to kill.
Which is then kind of mirrored in the character, I believe, Sagiri, who is like, she is an executioner. And she is like set to execute Gabimaru because nothing can kill him. They try to fucking like rip his legs off. He's just too strong to like, you know, have his legs ripped off. They set him on fire. He just kind of walks out of it unscathed. But this woman actually has the potential to kill him, and he can sense this. And even though he has not resisted anyone's attempts to kill him, except for this woman's, which makes him realize, oh, I do actually want to live. I might act like I don't give a shit, but I kind of actually want to live. So she executes people. She is the only female executioner of her clan. She's incredibly skilled, but she kind of can't take the guilt of killing people. She has this whole thing where she's like, but the reflection of the blade tells the truth. Because she'll like cut someone's head off, look at their head that's like covered up with like a face thing to hide the horrific look of like a beheaded person, but she looks in the reflection, it's like, oh, they hate me. And it's all symbolized through hands gripping at her and holding onto her constantly. And then she meets Gabimaru, and she's like, oh my god, my issue is that I just haven't been able to accept the burden of killing people. I shouldn't have been like praying that I be forgiven for my killings, but rather I should just be strengthening my character to accept that I've done this and accept that it's a bad thing to do. And it's really fucking slow. Like, the entire first episode is just them trying to kill Gabimaru. He meets the executioner, and then it kind of ends with her being like, I won't kill you if you accept this invitation to go to Hell's Paradise, which is essentially the Lord, the Shogun of Japan, is sending criminals because the people who have gone to this island come back as, like, horrible, like, pustule-covered people with, like, flowers growing out of them, and they either go insane or they're freaking dead. So he's like, oh, just send pieces of shit there, like criminals, for example. And, they set up a whole trial thing where it's like, okay, everyone, we're gonna send you to this island, but there's not enough room on the boats. And even though their whole idea is that they're going to send these criminals and people that they deem useless and not really contributing to society and problems, they're also going to send all of these, like, specially trained, specific clansmen, like the woman that I previously mentioned, to the island to watch over their individual prisoner. And I'm already kind of lost on that. I'm like, well, you could have just, like, just freaking dropped them, but I guess they gotta keep them under control. So the entire point of sending these people there is to find the elixir of life, an elixir of some sort that the Shogun wants. And I'm already kind of lost on the freaking plot, to be honest. I don't really care already. And I'm surprised because, as you know, Ivan, this is the one that I said I'm actually interested in. And I'm going to keep up with it.
Yeah, you prefaced that, last week.
And the second episode is just the entire, like, a death match between all the criminals. It's just a fight. They meet the Shogun, they ask some questions, they pick out their freaking antagonist / supporting cast for the series, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. There was this, like, bit where, Sagiri, the executioner, was gonna kill some people that run at her, and she, like, hesitates, and then she, like, and I was just really like, oh, I thought they were gonna go really hard on the animation here, but it was kind of, oh, okay, that just sort of happened, and I'm not like, whatever. And then Gabumaru does his, like, whole, oh, I'm a savage, but I'm also, like, not really into killing, but I do it anyway because you tried to kill me, so I'm going to kill you. Well, but you said you didn't want to kill people. I don't, but I'm still going to fucking kill you. And then he goes ham on everyone, even the people that, like, weren't trying to kill him. I'm just already like, whatever. I will, like, keep up with it because I've watched 2 episodes of it already and I may as well give it 3-episode run. But fuck, I'm not that bothered by it already, to be honest. But the first episode looked okay, the opening looks really great. I'm sure it'll impress us because it's fucking Mappa, but so far I'm just whatever. I'm honestly more interested in Heavenly Delusion. I'm actually excited to talk about that, but you take your turn.
So my turn, I'm gonna also burn one of my big disappointments this season so far.
Oh, go on.
And that's Mashle by A1 Pictures.
That came
So
out?
immediately I say A1 Pictures and I should have known better. What's that, Val?
That came out? I didn't realize it was out
That
already.
came out that's I think that's gonna be everyone's response to Mashle is, oh, that came out? Mashle does very well on the Shonen Jump magazine. It's in the One Punch Man camp, and that's the reason why I'm not really a fan of it.
That
it's
seems to
I've
be
kind
a
of
lot
outgrown
of
that
people.
formula. But basically, this is a world. This is a high fantasy world. It's not an isekai. This is a high fantasy world, but
It's
this is
Hogwarts
a boy
again.
who was raised. Basically, this is almost like a parody of Black Clover, if I'm going to be honest.
And Harry Potter, right? Like, they literally wear the school
Yeah,
uniforms
it's a
and
high
shit.
fantasy parody of a boy who's grows up in a world full of magic, but he does not have magic, so his father raised him to be fucking strong, to be ridiculously fit. And yeah, and it's a comedy manga. It does very well in the magazine. And so I was like, okay, maybe I will get into this if I watch the anime. And I couldn't even get through.
The guy who makes Mashle probably, like, read or watched the Harry Potter films or something, and then said, "Why the fuck don't any of these people, like, throw a punch at any point, really?"
Don't shoot guns and shit. Yeah, that's kind of the mentality here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I couldn't even get through like 5 minutes of this. It is the most jobber of all jobber productions. So when you're clearly trying to have a One Punch Man shtick, you really need to feel that force and that power in the animation. And like, this fucking series feels weightless. Like, there's a scene when he's running through the forest and you feel like you should feel him like tearing through it as he's running. And it's just like him running in place as the background like slides behind him. It looks fucking awful. There's like, Mashle is a series with kinetic energy, as most shonens are, and if you can't match that kineticism, you shouldn't fucking bother. Like, I think A1 tried to snatch the cheapest shonen they could, and they made the cheapest production. And again, people are gonna be like, oh wow, that came out. Like, best of luck. I only wish nothing for the best for these guys, but like, not when you're doing that. I don't care.
Look, the fact of the matter,
can't be fucking
A1
bothered.
Pictures, unless they're collaborating with another studio, generally kind of fucking suck, to be honest.
Right, yeah, and that's where I was like, all right, this is an A1 Gambit. Like, I didn't even know it was A1. Like, I watched it, I'm like, wow, why is this so bad? And I saw A1 pictures and go, damn, like, there could have been a possibility of this being good, but I guess not.
I don't think this is a style that A1 Pictures really do very well. Like, I don't like Fairy Tail that much, but, like, I think the entirety of Fairy Tail, like, kind of looks better, even in stills.
Is that not a weekly anime, though, or was a weekly anime?
Yeah, it was, and it was
I think that's A1's whole shtick,
episodes.
is they're kind of those weekly guys like Perio and stuff. Like, they go every fucking week, and they're very good at having that rhythm. I think that's A1's strength, where here, Mashle's clearly a seasonal, where if you're going seasonal, you gotta fucking bring your A1 game, and they just didn't.
You know, I'm gonna just preface something. I do actually think that Hell's Paradise might pick up once they actually go to the actual location that the series is mainly set on, but for the most part, the introduction just didn't bother me. But, that's a shame that Mashle sucks, because my friend Dell, like, really freaking likes the manga of Mashle, which...
Yeah, the manga's really good.
Like,
I'm not a fan, but I objectively, I recognize that it's good, and I think it got a little bit betrayed here.
Maybe.
It looks like isekai fodder, really.
Do you want to do a couple more? Because admittedly, I actually think Heavenly Delusion is my favorite thing on this list.
Go, shoot it next.
Oh, shoot it next? I mean, do because I know you watched a lot more.
I can bring up one more. Like I said, like, now I'll just kind of lightning around the rest here. Dr. Stone New World. TMS.
I am going to watch that. I actually am going to watch
You should
that.
watch it. TMS is getting very comfortable with the models now.
That's good.
Every season looks better than the last. I'm generally surprised, given how Dr. Stone is a relative disappointment, and the fact that the series is over now, like, long been over, and they still got, like... I think in the scheme of things, it
has been like 2 years, hasn't it?
The series.
It's been like a year or two since Dr. Stone.
It's been about a year and a half, maybe 2 now, since the series has been over.
Yeah.
But they did the spin-off last summer. Not the spin-off. They did the one-shot that threatens to spin off, and I'm still wondering if they're gonna have that spin-off. Because Itagaki hasn't announced his new series, and Boichi's always ready to clown. So like, I have to wonder, because I'm surprised that Toho is still investing heavily in this, considering that the job is done. So the fact that they continue to do this, like, my tinfoil hat says that we're getting a Dr. Stone spin-off soon, manga-wise, because, wow, this still looks great. And I watched this one with Steena, to the point where now Steena wants to go back to the beginning of the series and actually watch it. She quite enjoys it. Where I'm just like, I'm gonna wait for the dub to get some episodes. I'm gonna kind of binge with the dub, because I know where this series goes.
I am definitely going to watch season 3 of Dr. Stone, because I've been vowing since I stopped reading the manga that I would watch.
Yeah, and pick back up. You should. Treasure Island arc is what they're doing right now, and it's a great arc. There is an OVA that covers the domestication of Japan arc, so you'll have to watch that too.
Oh, okay, then I'll check that out for sure.
Because they go right over it. Like, they literally drop you right at the end of the OVA. And they're like, oh, yeah, you should have watched that, because we're not covering that this season.
Okay, got it. I'll definitely check that out. What else, though?
Otherwise, they have a Konosuba spinoff.
Oh, yeah! The blessed explosion.
Yeah, this explosion on this blessed
Wonderful
world or
world,
whatever.
yeah.
It's the one based on I forgot her name. Explosion Girl.
Megumi.
Yeah, Megumi. It's based on Megumi's origin, and it's quite cute. It's not as funny as I had hoped, and I
didn't think it would be.
But here's the reason. I think they're trying to be a little bit more earnest in this series.
Oh.
And that's kind of refreshing, question mark?
But also not what Konosuba does.
But if you go back to the Crimson movie, though, like, Megumi has always been a character they've always been a little bit more earnest with. They tend to give her the more development, and they tend to be a little bit kinder to her. Yeah, I would say so. Like, relatively to the rest of the cast.
I'm really trying to think on that, because I've watched it twice.
She's clearly the production's favorite.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, she's Japan's
and that's
favorite.
why she gets the spin-off. And the spin-off is very earnest, and it's very sweet. It has some laughs, but it's not the laughs that I expect from Konosuba. I actually want to rewatch the Crimson movie very soon.
Oh, do that.
And I'm gonna try, because we have a movie night coming up. By the time this episode airs, that movie night will happen. But we have movie nights, guys. If you're on our Patreon, just $1 a month, you get access to our movie night server on our Discord. We watch movies every Saturday night at 9:30 Eastern. And so if you want to just bump elbows with some of the cast members and just watch some good ass movies, that's where you do it. This week we're watching. We've been marathoning through John Wick, and I know we're watching 3 this week. And I wonder if I can sneak in Konosuba, for lack of any other ideas. Because I would like to rewatch that movie, because I remember really fucking laughing at that movie to the point where it was one of my favorite movies that year.
Okay, I think you might be right. I think I agree with you. Yeah, I've literally been like thinking through every scene of like Megumin I could like muster in my mind and comparing it to how they treat every other character.
That movie was very sweet to Megumi.
Yeah, I get that. I certainly get that. Except for the fact that they basically had Kazuma just fucking drooling over the entire film. But yes, I would agree. Comparatively to the trio of women in Kazuma's party, in fact, including Kazuma, they probably do treat her with a bit more reverence and respect.
And that's what I mean.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, sure.
But otherwise, yeah, like I said, I only saw 1 episode. I am going to continue it, and I'm giving it 3 episodes to kind of turn me around. I don't hate it. No. I'm just like, I'm not even disappointed. I'm just like, oh, this is not what I was expecting for Konosuba. So we'll see. Otherwise, it's not really fair to say I watched it. I skimmed it. Demon Slayer season, 3, 4 now?
Wait, I thought it was a movie.
What?
I thought Demon Slayer was a movie. I thought they called it a film.
No, it's a season. It's a new season.
I've been seeing people call it a film for some reason.
Because they put the film on TV, so what the fuck even is a film or a movie in fucking UFO Table's eyes?
What?
But anyways, I skimmed the first episode, and that's probably how I'm always going to digest Demon Slayer if it's not in theaters. I'm literally just gonna skim the best scenes, the pop-offs. Because I'm pretty certain like half the people who say they watch Demon Slayer are just doing what I do and just skimming it. But it looks good. Like UFO Table continues to flex.
I might be getting confused because of the way that they're like titling these seasons very specific things. So maybe I assumed it was a movie again, based on like the fact that they were like Demon Slayer, Mugen Train. But then they did the same thing with like the whatever Red Light District. I don't know. I don't freaking know.
Yeah, they name their seasons after the arcs.
I'm definitely gonna watch that because like I'm actually quite into Demon Slayer now. Like I watched the 1st and 2nd season.
And it's fair. It looks fucking great, and it won a lot of Crunchyroll Anime Awards, so you know it's good if it won the Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
Yes,
prestigious.
The most revered awards you can get in film.
The most
television.
revered the high school sports banquet on the internet.
Now, do you want to hear about? Of course you do, because that's why we're fucking here. About Heavenly Delusion, which I already think might probably be the best show this season.
I'm curious. Like, I'm gonna watch it after because you're bossing it up.
So, in the outside world, 15 years have passed since an unprecedented disaster that has absolutely fucked modern civilization up. And a group of children live in a facility that is basically like closed off from the rest of the fucked up world. So immediately I get Promised Neverland vibes from it. And in everything of the marketing that I have seen, and even voice actors talking about this, I had only seen these students in white and pink uniforms. So I was like, this must be an anime about, like,
I know why this is familiar now. Mackenzie got in the English cast of this.
Yeah. Oh, really? That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I forgot. We know a couple people in this English cast. That's fucking sick. Yeah.
That's freaking
I was like, why does his name look familiar? And I just saw the poster and go, oh, that's why. Because they were just announcing the English cast.
Nice. That's freaking brilliant. But, so I immediately get Promised Neverland vibes from it. I'm like, okay, it's a bunch of kids in a facility, a school. Things aren't as they seem, though. But then, almost immediately, it cuts to these 2 characters out and about in, like, the ruins of Tokyo, walking around, like, a suburb area, and just shooting the shit. And they find a house that has, like, not been broken into, and they're just like, oh my god, this house has barely been broken into. Oh my god, it's a shithole in here. There's toilet paper, holy crap. And, like, taking a shit. And, like, experimenting with food by, like, putting weeds and stuff on it and being like, oh my god, you've ruined the frickin' dish. God damn it. And getting kind of annoyed, but, like, they're chill. and you don't really understand what their relationship is. Like, you assume they're brother and sister, because the guy always calls the girl sis. And it's already kind of cool, because I like stories where it's just like, how do these characters get around these little obstacles or these issues that they face in these situations? They like get attacked by a group of men who imply they kind of want to R-word the girl, and the girl pulls out a gun, but it looks like a toy, and the men just completely like go, oh, whatever, it's probably a toy or something, she's just trying to like fake us out. And the boy starts like beating the shit out of these guys with kung fu and everything, and the girl like climbs on top of a fence and fires the gun, and it's a futuristic fucking laser gun that melts a telephone pole as like a threat to these men. And immediately they're just like, what the fuck is that? Like a space laser. And they hold these guys hostage and use their shit. Like, they take their generator and like charge the gun up and get directions and shit. And like, that's just like not even an episode. That's like a small obstacle that they come across. I actually really like the pacing of this. And watching this and then watching Hell's Paradise probably did not help Hell's Paradise one bit, because this has a really nice pace. They come across in the second episode like an inn run by this really nice lady. In fact, this isn't the first episode. They come across an inn and they spend some time in the inn talking. The lady tells them about like a monster that prowls an area. I'm like, what, is it a bear? No, it's an actual monster. It's like a giant crow monster with tendrils that like slash things up. And also the production, really freaking good. It's studio production IG, so solid studio.
Oh yeah, they're always
you and I both
solid.
know that. Yeah, production IG,
Surprised they're
solid
not doing a
studio.
sport.
And the woman's like, oh, just stay inside and the monster probably won't bother you. But there's also this like weird, there's like a tension. It's not like super focused on, but there is like kind of a tension between the girl and the boy. Like, they're sleeping and the girl's like, why are you still awake? I'm your bodyguard. I'm supposed to be watching you. And he's like, I always like stay awake at least a few hours before you get to sleep. She's like, oh, I'm kind of a shit bodyguard then, aren't I, if I'm like falling asleep before you? And they're like really pally. And there's even a bit that confirms no, they're not siblings, because the innkeeper's like, so I just want to say I've noticed things, and well, it's morally wrong for a brother and sister to explore a relationship together. And she's like, look at our faces, we are not siblings, fuck you. And she's like, my bad then, my bad. The girl is also like weirdly interested in her reflection and wants to like kiss herself in the mirror. So there might be some narcissism going on there. I don't know. So the monster comes, and the pair, there's actually this really good bit. I'm really liking the storytelling in this, where the guy falls asleep before the girl, and she's like, you literally said you always stay up and like longer than me. So it's like, oh my god, he's been drugged by the woman. And the woman's like takes a shotgun out and goes outside to face the monster. So they're like, oh, you drugged us so we'd stay inside and like leave the monster be and be safe and shit. And they start fighting the monster anyway. They shoot like pew pew laser guns at it and crap. And then the woman's like, no, the reason I wanted you to stay the fuck away from it is because the monster's my son. And they're like, oh, I get why you'd think that, because they don't eat things, they like absorb them into you. Okay, lady, that's not your son. You're kind of crazy. She's like, no, men tried to hurt me and it saved me. And then the monster kills her, obviously, and the girl's just like, has a single tear running down her face. The guys are like, how could you be like, let's kill it at a time like this? This woman just died before us. And she's like, single tear running down her face. Fuck you, dude. If we don't think like this, we're gonna die. They kill the monster. They move on. They kind of play with the idea like, what if she was just gonna feed us to it? And they're like, best not to think about it. They come to a village of people that farm and are quite successful in living in this, like, post-apocalyptic wasteland. And the guys are like, let's just stay here. I love you, and let's just stay here with the farmers forever. And she's like, first of all, dude, fuck you. We're in a place right now that I can't leave at this moment. So fuck you for admitting your feelings to me when I can't leave to, like, emotionally prepare or, like, think about this. Ivan, you will actually love the writing of this story. I'm absolutely certain. And she just says to him, I don't want to spend my entire fucking life living on a farm where we work all day and get high all night. Fuck that shit. I don't like this place. And the guy's like, God damn it. Well, what do you think about me then? She's like, okay, my dude, I have something to tell you. I'm a girl, but I have the mind of a man. That's that. And he's like, what? And then the episode just ends there. It's actually really fucking good. Production-wise, it's fucking great. I like the writing a lot. The setting, like, you know, it's post-apocalyptic. Like, lots of places do this and stuff like that. But I'm actually really fucking into it. I really enjoy it. I'm tempted to read the manga. It's a monthly manga, I think, considering it's been out for since 2018. January 2018. It's only got 8 volumes. But so far, I'm really into it. It's got like the traveler vibe that I like in a lot of anime, where, like I said, it's just handling little situations. There's an overarching story surely going on. Also, it does go back to the kids at the school that I mentioned. There's not much going on with them except a girl who probably has future vision, most definitely has future vision, and a guy who I won't spoil how that connection is going there. I've talked about a lot of things, probably more than I should have, but like I said, I'm really, like, looking forward to this. Everyone, watch Heavenly Delusion. It's already really fucking cool. Just go watch it. What do you think of what I've told you thus far?
Yeah, I'm gonna go, like, watch it immediately.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually gonna stop this podcast and watch it now.
Oh. Okay, then.
As should everyone else. I don't care if you guys are at work listening to this.
No.
Tell your boss you need 20 minutes to watch
just
Heavenly
stop it.
Delusion.
No, Ivan, just stop it there. Just stop it there.
No, we're going to stop it right here when I say, everyone, thanks for joining us this week. This is our first wave of anime. There's actually still more to talk about next week, as we will.
Damn.
Otherwise, I'm not sure what manga is coming back and what's not. Again, we are in this weird... It's called Golden Week, but it's basically a golden month where things just come and go as they please.
I have a question before we go about My Hero Academia. Do you think Shonen is getting annoyed at, like, Horikoshi's, like, on and off schedule?
No.
No. Because we've talked about it a lot.
Everyone at Jump loves Horikoshi.
I'm glad to hear that, but I'm just saying, like, the way that his hold up on ending the manga has probably affected, like, releases, or at least, like, what is in the magazine. It hasn't, because they just canceled things.
Now. Ichigoshi's Under Control just got biffed this week.
What? Really?
That was not a surprise. It's been missing from merch line. When they make the new manga, a couple weeks later, they make merch, like, usually like a month or so later. And they just did not make merch for Ichigose, so I'm like, oh yeah, that's going.
Wait, Ichinose or wait, no, that's
Ichinose. I get it's so confusing with the Taizan 5 one.
Ichigose is Under Control.
Yes, the one where he's turned to a robot. He's controlled by a tiny woman.
Yeah, that's it. Because I was like, wait, does he mean Ichinose? Because I actually like the whole concept of Ichigose, and I thought the first chapter.
Oh yeah, how many chapters did you actually read?
No, I haven't read anymore, but we know that I have been like
exactly,
so not dedicated.
And that's why you're the reason why it got canceled.
Oh no!
They were waiting for you to read it.
Oh, Ichigoki. It's Ichigoki's Under Control.
Ichigoki's Under Control. Okay.
I'm kind of sad at that. Like I said, I have not been fully dedicated to any new manga for a fucking while, so I can't complain, obviously. But I guess I'm just not sensing anything with the source, I suppose. Like Chainsaw Man is the last new thing that really fucking grabbed me at any point. And I guess now,
well, it's the top of the food chain right now.
Should we check out Tenmaku Cinema? Because you mentioned it last week.
You know what? We're running out of time. I'm gonna make this very brief. It's basically about a ghost. It's literally a ghost writer.
A sexy wait.
Yes, a sexy ghost writer. Basically, this kid. Basically, the main protagonist is a kid who's a cinephile, and he gets possessed by the ghost of a writer who used to, who directed Seven Samurai? One sec. I should know his name at the top of my head.
Like
my cinephile card is being removed as I speak.
Akira Kurosawa.
Yeah, Akira Kurosawa. Okay, so it's not literally Akira Kurosawa, but visually it clearly is. And this guy was like his favorite writer. And he died. And he's like, I gotta get this script to Akira. And I need you to write it for me. And he's like, bro, Akira Kurosawa died like 20 years ago. And he's like, oh, fuck. Well, I want to make this movie anyways, and you're gonna direct it. And so basically, like, this kid is, like, he's a guy who loves film, and it looks like he's gonna learn about making film. Because he's being pushed by this writer, and he's meeting, like, a girl at his school who's an actress, and I'm sure he'll find, like, it feels like it's One Piece if they were movie makers, and they're gonna acquire crew members to make the film.
Yeah,
it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm ready for it.
Bakuman to me.
Yeah, probably like that.
Like a big bit, Bakuman is like the mangaka, it's like, I will marry you when I make my hit fucking manga. That's like a story in it, so I'm like skimming through this, I'm getting Bakuman vibes, but it seems cool. I'll give it a read, and we can like talk about it maybe more in depth next week, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do that, because we actually will have a lot of new material next week, because there's some new manga coming out during this pre-Golden Week, as well as, I mentioned a Ghostwriter. Ghostwriter Paradox is getting a that manga is getting a one-shot in the coming weeks.
Is Kaiju number 8 getting an anime soon?
It's getting an anime next year.
Yeah. Okay.
By Production IG.
Okay. I have literally
and
no
people are
idea.
bitching about the models, which I go, well, there's going to be adaptational modeling.
Yeah, I think we talked
Yeah,
about that
they don't
the
look
other
the
week.
best, but, I mean, wait till it's in motion, kids.
We talked about it last week, where it's like, it looks like they actually aged down the main character.
Okay, but yeah, we are going woefully over time. So
Sorry, Steena.
we can talk
Sorry,
about this
Cody.
next week. But until then, guys, everyone, thanks for listening and take care.
Arrivederci.
Mind the gap as you exit our podcast safely. Rebuild of Joycast is hosted by Ivan LeRoy and Valentine Stokes. LeRoy's written and directed works can be found on the JoyRide Entertainment YouTube channel and the soon-to-be-released original web manga, PARAMEDIC. Val's dulcet tones can be heard in many of your favorite anime and web series, such as RWBY, Death Battle, Tribe 9, Lackadaisy Cats, and more. This episode was edited by Steena Carey, with YouTube version edited by Cody Rock. Music provided by Lofi Geek. Intro and outro narration by Steena Carey. Outro music composed by Michael Pejovich. Logo and visuals designed by Ivan LeRoy. Rebuild of Joycast is produced by JoyRide Entertainment and Rock Voice Productions LLC, and made possible thanks to Patreon donations from generous listeners like you. This month's highest-tiered Patreon producers are Mr. Host, Gooner Bear, MerryBowTie, Hope D. Cruz, and Greg Hughes. If you would like your name shouted out at the end of each podcast, an invite to our private Discord to interact with fans, cast and crew, or early access to all of our content, be sure to check out JoyRide Entertainment's Patreon. Links provided in the description. Thank you for keeping JoyRide's engine burning.